What I am is a catalyst for transformation. I describe myself as a strategic leadership advisor. I trained as an occupational therapist. When I graduated, I ended up working in workers' comp. After a short period of time, I became a specialist in treating untreatable cases. You know, the kinds of cases that other people said, no, you can't address those sorts of things. The only way you could treat those problems was to look at them systemically. Now, I had no awareness that I was looking at them systemically, but it just seemed obvious to me that you had to look beyond the single unit. You had to look beyond the hand or beyond the person sitting in front of you, but what's the whole system that they sat within? I had this phenomenal success rate at getting these people back to work. When I went on maternity leave, I had people approaching me, would you come and work with us? Executives said to me, there's things that you know about people that we need to understand. And one particular exec said to me, we're responsible for the people's lives who come and work here, and we don't always send them home whole, and that's our responsibility. And I went, wow. If there are executives who think like this, how do you create environments where people can thrive and the enterprise can thrive? Within a very short space of time, I had this huge blossoming business and, more work than I could think of. And I just really understood you had to see something in a systemic context in order for it to succeed. And particularly, there's so many well-meaning people in organisational life, but there's a lot in the system that's kind of this force that goes in this direction, which is actually not conducive to thriving. I have a compassionate heart for people in organisations. It's very demanding. It asks of human being extraordinary things. And those people in positions of authority and positions of power are often blind to some of those forces. And by the way, they wear the consequences of it very heavily. If you look at the world today versus how it was even 10 years ago, so many things are converging, And so with convergence, with everything coming together, the interdependence and the interconnectedness of things becomes increasingly significant. So if we think about that in terms of what's going on in the world, we are being asked to change our form. So whether it's on a global scale, on a social scale, on an organisational scale, or whether it's on an individual scale. Now, if you really understand the challenge people are up for in that, it's like the very conditions that confront you with the need for transformation are the very conditions that make it most difficult to do. Because when you're up against it, there's a lot of fear and anxiety because you're trying to resolve what seem to be unresolvable problems. So what's that calling for? It asks us to change who we are from the inside out. Now that goes the same to an organisation. If we want to change our results, if we want to change our performance in the marketplace, if things aren't working there, then we need to change something on the inside in order for it to change on the outside. There's a very significant shift in the business when you do this work. So you'll notice with me, everything comes down to, at what level are we having the conversation? Are we having it at the big systemic level? Are we having it at an interim level? Or are we having it down at the individual level? And all the same principles apply. It's just the scale of which we're doing what we're doing. Understanding how systems operate, what enables them to thrive, it's far better than me being an occupational therapist. It's actually shaping, the systems that touch most human beings' lives.